This video idea was inspired by Mitten Squad, his videos. Check them out. It doesn't take a genius to see Call of Duty seems to just keep heading in the wrong direction. But what if we revisited one of the foundations of the title? Can you beat Modern Warfare 3 without taking any damage? This challenge works as it sounds. If I take any damage, I load the most recent checkpoint and play through the mission until success or proven impossible. We play as Derek Westbrook, otherwise known as Frost. In the first mission, our driver sideswipes some poor person's car, sending us rolling. Nice to know that's where my taxes went. We were tasked to find a signal jammer on the nearby stock exchange building and take it out. For whatever reason, we came so unprepared we didn't even bring a magazine for ourselves. I die moments later, so now we can explain the rules a little more. Any form of damage, getting shot, getting hit with a grenade, fall damage, they all count. They disqualify the run. Upon reaching the next checkpoint, we almost guarantee Grinch's VA benefits by flagging him multiple times. We even managed to outperform ourselves by shooting Sandman square in the head. I even had time to contemplate what I was going to have for lunch. After finally clearing this section, I do a little exploring just to get shot in the back. Upon entering the stock exchange, we're greeted with tables full of junk and grenades flying everywhere. As if that first one wasn't close enough, the second one proceeds to hit me in the face, ending the run there. We finally make it past that room. Thank God. I also do want to say I do know the total number of deaths this playthrough took. So take your guess and put it in the comments. Also, who would have thought the ladder would have been a bane in my existence? Not only that, the checkpoint's there too. It was either continue up the ladder and hope not to get shot, or fall back and re-engage the enemies that had spawned below. Finally, we made it to the tower. I put the thermite on and was still expecting the worst. Future me here. It's still yet to come. There's a combination of them. We were given access to a predator drone. Probably shouldn't have done that. I erased at least 30 bloodlines here. In the final step, so which I thought was destroying this hind to get your evacuation heli here. You clear the other roofs real quick and head into town, only to run into 2 other helicopters. And mind you, when I say helicopters, think rockets. This is the part that ended 9 out of 10 runs. Those missiles don't miss half the time. And that's not it, there's a third. As soon as you reach the top of the tower, another helicopter comes out of nowhere to try to ambush you. We finally managed to take him down, but that answers the question for us. Can you beat Modern Warfare 3 without taking damage? No, is the simple answer. I quickly find out if I can turn myself into a fruit smoothie or not. We also place a bomb, attempting to get the sub to surface. We enter the sub with the goal being to either disable or redirect the missiles, not to mention the poor soul who got killed by this door. After successfully redirecting the missiles to hit Russian equipment, we make our escape on a dinghy. "5 minutes of driving and 2 enemy boats down later, we're at the Chinook. The next mission takes place after Modern Warfare 2's campaign, after Price and Soap deal with Shepard. We are in India and Makarov has sent his forces to try to capture and kill us. We get called over to help Soap and have the pleasure of watching Price game in this poor SOB. After finally making outside, the first thing I do is shoot my teammate in the back. After another attempt and not shooting any friendlies, Price and I finally make it to the AGR. Also, just a heads up, things do get touchy, so this AGR getting shot does not count or disqualify the run. This mission's pretty straightforward. It's shoot anything that moves and then Soap and Price get out of there. Mission complete. The same drone that destroyed the AGR blows the path out from under us and we go tumbling down the cliff. After some narrow dodges and almost drowning, we float ashore, pass out waiting for Soap and Price to come find us. This next mission we play as a Russian bodyguard. While I was looking at the toys, the president got kidnapped and we had to get him back. Some of these scenes also are really impressive for this game being released in 2011. Can't complain. We actually even got an achievement for getting all the enemies in the 0G level. We then went on to kill another teammate, and then we found the president's daughter. With the hijackers still on the plane, we were tasked to clearing the lower class seats out. Amidst the fight, the pilot touches down, causing the plane to tear in half. I then managed to fall out of the plane, but let's not talk about that. Here I was testing if this damage was actually avoidable or not. As you can see in this next clip, he jumps over, it doesn't explode, and I try to go as far left as I can and it still hits me. So this damage is unavoidable. After meeting back up with the president and trying to get him back, we are greeted with Makarov instead. The whole attack was a plan by Makarov to get the president and his daughter because he wants the nuclear launch codes. He takes the president and finishes us off before he leaves. We pick back up playing as Soap, Yuri, and Price in the swamps of Africa. Our goal? To intercept a package Makarov has here. We fight through villages, checking buildings, but to no avail. After being ambushed and contacting Nikolai, we were told to go to City Center. It might be there. I started climbing this ladder and it was very apparent Price no longer needed my help. This was up there for one of the worst missions in the game, as if you get too aggressive, you die, you take damage. You don't hide, you take damage. You kind of just have to let your teammates do all the work and hope you catch up. So here goes Soap and Price, and I have no idea, I'm waiting for it to finish. Then, not to mention, we fall through this piece of shit corrugated house. The fuck, man, he's trying to lose me. After eradicating the next village, we were a wanted man, so I had to use their mortar against them. After stuffing my pockets with anything valuable, I decided it was a good time to leave. Only for the locals to find me moments later. The crate was empty and we were wrong. The next crate was also empty, by the way.
Bruh.
This time we're sure of it having a bomb, right? That or it's a charity we don't support. We finally track the president's location. We breach the room, kill everyone in it, and save the president, thus ending the mission. Flash forward to Somalia, where we're doing another breach to get to the warlord for information about Volk. Man, we breach a lot in this game. The attack was already done and over with, and so was this guy's time on this planet. As we were trying to evac, Nikolai was hit by a rocket launcher, sending him barreling into the local neighborhood, and us having to retrieve him. After finding Nikolai, he subjects us to more labor by carrying his ass to the nearest jeep to get out of Somalia. After being tipped off on Volk's location, we head back to Paris, where the chemical attacks ensued. But first I had to kill this guy, because life isn't fair sometimes. Upon raiding Volk's hideout, he runs to the exit, gets in an escape car, and makes his getaway, leaving us in the dust. This is also one of those moments I tried for hours to get a better clip, but I couldn't. It was impossible to not get hit during this phase of the mission. We catch up with Volk, ramming his car, sending it rolling. With all his men dead and him battered and bruised, he had no choice but to come with us. I ran ahead thinking anything other normal mission, but stopped paying attention and I proceeded to get my head cut off the next moment. After learning from my mistakes and standing a little further back, something else weird happens. I get kidnapped. Where? To an AC-130. Our goal? To Swiss cheese as many motherfuckers as we can and provide covering fire for Sandman and his group. We successfully hold the enemies, but the Eiffel Tower falls. I also managed to get killed one more time before this mission ends. The next mission isn't too noteworthy, I just killed a couple friendlies. After hiding behind my teammates, I had to hit this nice little bee hop through the window. We finally make it to the church, and the game tries to gaslight me into believe there was no one there. Like, what happened? They all just flopped. The next morning, we intercept where Makarov's gonna be, but instead of us catching him, they ambush us. After falling 30 feet, Price comes over to check on who? Not me. Soap, and then makes me carry him. And not to mention, this is another one of those missions you cannot do without getting hit. I tried, and I tried, and I tried, but while you're carrying Soap, you can't crouch, you can't run, you can't lay down, you can't shoot. It's fucking useless. Price and I trade custody of Soap because I'm the better shot and Soap's his boyfriend. After finally making it to the safe house and cowering in fear, they finally come out to help us in. Soap also lets Price know that Makarov knows us, which gets us into a world of shit here in a moment. Soap dies, and the hideout falls under attack, so Price and I have to sneak out the back. As I make it to the back door, the realization suddenly hits me. We buy ourselves some time by telling Price how we met and what we knew about Makarov. The next mission, Price and I infiltrate Makarov's castle, looking for either the man or evidence to point where he is. As we move through the compound, we leave C4 behind to try to take any left behind stragglers out. We soon learn that Makarov is not here. He was at the mine with the president, trying to get the nuclear codes out of it. Upon learning that news, Price and I got out of there as fast as we could, parachuting off the cliff. This mission wasn't crazy or anything, it was just a pain. If you don't stand still for like 3 seconds after shooting an RPG, your rocket doesn't hit. Fun fact. The next level, we did our best Kool-Aid Man entrance by putting breach charges on the floor and just dropping in. Also, didn't realize it till now, but this is another one of those goddamn breach missions. In a sad turn of events, Meadow 01 will give their lives here to get the President, Price, and Yuri home. After not only losing Soap, but losing Sandman and his squad too, it's time for revenge. We work our way towards the elevators and headed towards one of the hardest challenges yet. How do I get up this elevator scene without getting hit by the helicopter? To be honest, it wasn't that bad. I just kinda hid behind Yuri and let him take the brunt of it. So yes, they kinda just tore off pristine jug armor in the end. At least I did. After shooting the helicopter down, it collides with the elevator, leaving us scrambling to find another way up. With the only other way going up being another elevator, we have to jump, and I miss my jump. We finally make it up chasing Makarov, when the top floor of the building gets leveled by a heli, sending us sliding. As Yuri lay there impaled, we had a decision to make. Makarov or save Yuri. After boarding the helicopter and fighting for the controls from the two pilots, I then attempt to do as many 180s as I can before crashing back into the building. With both of us had surviving the helicopter crash, it was a struggle for the gun. We get a glimpse at what might be the end, only to be saved by Yuri moments later.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
I also don't have a whole lot to say here. I just think if you haven't seen this cutscene before, it's worth a watch. Even if you have, it's probably one of the best moments in COD.
We then proceed to turn Makarov into a Christmas ornament. And with that marks the end. Can you beat Modern Warfare 3 without taking any damage? No. There are a handful of instances. There's nothing you can do. You're a cog in the wheel. Good luck. If you guys like this video, please comment, subscribe, tell me what you'd want to see next, tell me what I did wrong. I'd like feedback. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.
I just wanted to let everyone know this took about 14 hours. It was on veteran, and I died a total of 563 times.